Welcome back to Act Local. Are you someone between the ages of teen and 30? Do you know someone between the ages of teen and 30? Well, if you do, this video is for you. Have you ever had an old person say something like, "Kids these days, they don't care about anything but their smartphones and their technology"? Of course you have. They're saying that sort of shit all the time. Well, have I got the thing for you to prove them wrong? Landcare. That means actually caring for something. Am I right, youth of today? Or, more specifically, Intrepid Landcare. They're out here proving that Landcare doesn't have to be boring or for old stupid fuddy-duddies. I travelled down to San Remo, Victoria. No, unfortunately not the same place where they make the pasta. To visit Kelsey of Gippsland Intrepid Landcare. They're doing a bunch of cool shit across the eastern side of the state, and I wanted to sit down and ask her how she engages young people to get them into Landcare.
It's a really hard question because you can't force people to do things, and I feel like when you do that, that's when you get the most pushback. And so a lot of the work we do is kind of empowering them, not just like coming down and be like, you have to come to this, you know, or you need to do this. It's like, come along with us for this ride or do this with us. So a lot less of your planting and cups of teas, but the whole Intrepid scheme of it all is to try and re-engage that younger generation into Landcare, try and do things a bit differently to bring those people in. Intrepid itself was formulated by two women up in Queensland. Yep. So we had the ladies come from Queensland, did a retreat. From there, like a few of us kept in contact and started the group. I ran one of the second or first events. I ran the first plant and dance.
Like, is that literally what I think it is? You plant a bunch of trees and then you just kind of listen to music and get up and boogie after? Yeah, sick.
Other events we've done is like kayaking and willow mapping. Often a lot of the creeks and rivers up towards Sale and Terralgan. Up that way there's a lot of willow damage, kind of make it a bit fun by adding kayaking in there. So it's not just walking or hiking along a river, you're kind of like working as a team to go and map these willows to then be removed by like local catchment management authorities. Mountain bike riding and like weed control, so you went mountain bike riding and weed management. Sea splurge event. What's sea splurge? I don't know what that is. Sea splurge is a really invasive coastal plant. Yeah. So it takes over the coastline and it's not very good for stability, especially like sand banks and stuff. And so we did one with Friends of the Prom. We did surfing as well. So you like went and did some weeding and then we went surfing and like... That technique of smashing two things together to make one fun, environmentally positive activity is so smart. It's almost incidental environmentalism. Say that 3 times fast. But what qualifies Kelsey to run a cool organisation like this? We went to uni and I did a Bachelor of Environmental Science at Deakin. And whilst I was doing that, I was doing bush kind of management with the local Bass Coast Landcare network. So I was on their works crew there. I ended up actually going overseas and I did 6 months of permaculture in Portugal. It should be a TV show. Yeah. Permaculture in Portugal. Anyway, sorry. Permaculture as a basis is around kind of using the landscape, going back to the basics really. My kind of internship there was in agroforestry, so looking at recreating a forest, but it's all food and native and things that you can like eat and stuff. Yeah, sick. Like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, just you can eat everything, but it's not chocolate, it's fruit. Why do you actually care? Do you know, it's really... It sounds so dumb to ask, but I ask it every single episode, but I always try and make it some big question. But I think the crux of what I'm asking is, why do you give a Part of it is like, it's instilled in me from my parents. Yeah. So like growing up on a farm, I kind of really care about like the world around me, and even just like talking to people and seeing their reactions to things and seeing like them get involved, and I feel really like invigorated by that as well. So I think that's kind of another driving factor, is that like I want other people to care just as much as I do, and I take joy in seeing them then, you know, formulate that and, you know, feel that. Yeah, I think it'd be huge for you as well, because you are like forming the youngest sort of bits of passion for them. Yeah. Unless they were, you know, like yourself and grew up as a 14-year-old on the farm and all that sort of stuff. Like when you get to 20 or whatever and then you stumble across your organisation, get involved and you're like, hang on, I kind of like this. Then you would be like, yes! Yeah, exactly. Sort of vibe. I had a girl ask me, what subjects can I do at school to do what you do? Yeah. And I was like, wow, that was kind of like really invigorating, because I was like, oh.
You do what Pops does. Keep going, I'm listening.
Just having conversations with people, like at the plant dance recently, one girl was just like having a really nice conversation with me about her work and like my work, and we were just like really vibing on each other about like joy of like being in the environment and doing like really fun things together.
What do you sort of say to a young frother ready to pull the boots on and have a go?
Really just try and get out there and do what you love, even if it's just go for a hike and like just try and be a bit more, feel like you're in that environment and space. And often we just get people come along, they're like, oh, we don't know anyone, but we saw that this was a cool event, so we might just jump in. And I was like, that's great. Like, even though you don't know anyone doing that kind of stuff, there's no harm in going along, even if it is to like your traditional landcare group.
I'd learnt so much during my time in San Remo, but before I went on my way to find another legend doing amazing things to protect the natural world, I had one more question. We are in San Remo. I'm seeing a significant lack of pasta. What gives?
Pasta?
Yeah, what gives?
What do you mean, pasta? Oh, San Remo. Dad joke. The place on the corner, Mario's, does a good pasta.
Does it?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I could give you that, that's all.
Comment down below if you know someone doing cool shit to protect the natural world. Cheers, bye!